What the car industry doesn't want you to know is that America's electric car revolution, the thing everyone's been hyping up as the future, the green dream, the next big leap, might just be one of the darkest, most twisted stories on the road today. And I'm not talking about some wild sci-fi scenario or a plot from a Fast and Furious movie. I'm talking about the real money, the real power, and the real secrets behind the shiny electric cars you see everywhere now. What I've found out digging into this, it shocked even people on the inside. And tonight, I'm going to pull you into that darkness with me. So buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind, and maybe even terrify you. You think you know where your money goes when you buy an EV? You think you know who's really running the show? Think again. The truth is, the electric car revolution in America is packed with hidden agendas, corporate cover-ups, and a whole lot of money changing hands in ways nobody wants to talk about. And trust me, once you see how deep this rabbit hole goes, you'll never look at your car or your country the same way again. Now, before we go any further, let me just say, if you're into this kind of dark automotive deep dive, you might want to stick around. I expose stuff like this all the time, and honestly, it gets darker the more you look. So if you want to know what's really happening behind the scenes, hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to hear, this is just the beginning. Let's set the scene. Picture this. Billions of dollars, not millions, billions, being pumped into the electric car industry. You've got the government throwing money at it, automakers scrambling to outdo each other, and investors circling like sharks. On the surface, it looks like progress, like we're finally breaking free from oil, from pollution, from the old way of doing things. But underneath, there's a storm brewing, and it's not the kind you can see coming on the weather app. Here's where it gets really disturbing. You know all those headlines about America leading the world in EVs, about Tesla being this unstoppable force? Turns out, the real power is shifting somewhere else. While we're busy patting ourselves on the back, countries like Canada are quietly snatching up the future. Yeah, you heard that right. Canada. Volkswagen's dropping $20 billion on a battery gigafactory up there, and the Canadian government is basically rolling out the red carpet, offering up incentives that make our own look like pocket change.
That one factory alone could supply enough batteries for 3 million cars a year. 3 million! And that's just one project. Makes you wonder, why isn't that happening here? Why are we letting our neighbors to the north steal the crown? The facts show that America is falling behind in the global battery race, and honestly, I think there's something darker going on. It's almost like someone wants us to lose, like the game is rigged from the start. But wait, it gets even darker. Because while we're losing ground on batteries, we're also getting squeezed by China. Yeah, the same China that dominates the world's supply of lithium, cobalt, and all those other rare minerals you need to make an electric car go. You think your new EV is made in America? Maybe on the outside, but inside, the heart of that car, the battery, the tech, the stuff that really matters, might as well have a Made in China stamp on it. And that just doesn't sit right with me at all. Now, I know some people see it differently. They say, hey, it's a global market. That's just how business works. But here's the dark truth. When you let other countries control the stuff you need most, you're not just buying a car, you're selling your future. And I don't care how many stars and stripes you slap on the hood, that's a deal with the devil. But here's what most people don't realize about this dark truth. Even with all this money flying around, even with all the hype, the infrastructure just isn't there. You ever try to find a charging station outside a big city? It's like hunting for Bigfoot. California's got over 1 million EVs on the road and more than 50,000 charging ports. But step outside the bubble and it's a whole different story. The ratio of cars to chargers is way off, and it's only getting worse. It's basically the difference between what they tell you and what's really happening. They want you to believe we're ready for this electric future, but the reality? We're barely out of the garage. And don't even get me started on the price. Remember when they said EVs would make driving cheaper, cleaner, better for everyone? Go look at the sticker price on a Ford F-150 Lightning or a new Tesla. prices are climbing, not dropping. And the Inflation Reduction Act, supposed to help, right? It's actually making things harder for automakers because now they have to source batteries from North America, which just drives costs up even more. It's like when you discover your mechanic has been lying to you for years, telling you your car's fine while secretly draining your wallet dry.
But wait, it gets even more disturbing. Because the real game isn't even about cars anymore. It's about software. That's right. Automakers are betting the farm on self-driving tech, on subscription services, on turning your ride into a rolling computer that never stops charging you. Forget horsepower and torque. The new currency is data. Your data. Where you go, how you drive, what you listen to. They want it all, and they'll sell it to the highest bidder. In my view, this is a massive cover-up, an entire industry shifting from building cars to building surveillance machines, and nobody's talking about it. Speaking of that, let me tell you about the real reason dealerships are freaking out right now. You know how Tesla sells direct to consumers, no middleman, no haggling, no games? The old-school dealerships hate it. They're losing control. And the big automakers? They're starting to follow Tesla's lead. That means the days of walking onto a lot, kicking the tires, and talking your way into a better deal are numbered. Pretty soon, you'll be buying your car online, clicking subscribe for features you used to get for free, and praying the software doesn't glitch out on the highway. Comment below what you think about this dark revelation, because honestly, it feels like we're losing something important and nobody's sounding the alarm. Now, this is just my dark take, but I suspect the whole electric revolution is less about saving the planet and more about locking us into a new kind of dependency. Not on oil, but on batteries, on software, on foreign supply chains we can't control. It's like trading one addiction for another, and the dealers, this time, are even more powerful. A lot of folks don't talk about this dark side, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. That reminds me of something else they don't want you to know. Remember the 2008 auto bailout? The government swooped in, saved the industry, and everyone cheered. But who really won? The big guys at the top. The workers, the dealerships, the little guys. They got scraps. Fast forward to today, and it's the same story just with a new coat of paint. Billions in subsidies, tax breaks, and incentives. But who's cashing in? Not you, not me. The ones getting rich are the same ones who've always called the shots. Now here's where it gets really sinister. Have you ever wondered why so many EV recalls are happening lately? Fires, software glitches, sudden shutdowns. It's almost like the rush to market is more important than your safety.
They want to be first. They want to be biggest. But at what cost? It's like when you buy a brand new phone and it starts overheating on day one. Except this time, you're sitting on top of a giant lithium bomb. Makes you wonder what else they're hiding, doesn't it? But here's what most people don't realize. Every time there's a recall, every time there's a glitch, the companies spin it as innovation. They say, we're fixing it with a software update. But what they're really doing is using you as a beta tester. You're not just a customer, you're part of the experiment. And if something goes wrong, good luck getting answers. Good luck finding someone to take responsibility. It's basically the Wild West, but with more lithium and fewer sheriffs. Speaking of wild, let's talk about the environmental impact. You've heard the pitch. EVs are clean, they're green, they're saving the planet. But dig a little deeper, and the story gets murkier. Mining for lithium, cobalt, nickel, it's dirty business. Whole communities overseas are getting wrecked, so we can feel good about plugging in. And when those batteries die, recycling is still a mess. So is this really progress or just another corporate deception? Like, are we really fixing the problem or just moving it somewhere nobody can see? Honestly, I think this is terrifying. The facts show we're trading one set of problems for another, and the people making the decisions aren't the ones who'll pay the price. It's you, it's me, it's the next generation of drivers who will be stuck with the fallout. That just doesn't sit right with me at all. Now, I know some folks will say I'm being too negative, that change is hard, that the future is electric, whether we like it or not, and maybe they're right. But here's my question. Who's really in control of this revolution? Is it the people, or is it the corporations, the governments, the shadowy investors pulling the strings behind the scenes. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks a lot like the same old story, just with a new logo on the grill. Let's circle back to the money for a second. Billions in government cash, billions in private investment. But where does it all go? Building factories in Canada, buying minerals from China, lining the pockets of executives who will never set foot in a dealership. Meanwhile, the average American is still struggling to afford a new car, still waiting for the infrastructure to catch up, still wondering if their next ride will be safe, reliable, and truly theirs.
It's like when you're at a car dealership and the salesman keeps dodging your questions, smiling, nodding, but never giving you the real answer. But wait, it gets even more disturbing. Because as hardware gets cheaper, the real money is in the software. Automakers are already rolling out features you have to pay extra for: heated seats, advanced cruise control, even basic safety functions. You buy the car, but you don't really own it. You're renting it, one monthly payment at a time. And if you stop paying, they can shut it off, just like that. It's like discovering your mechanic has the keys to your house, and you never even knew. Share this with someone who needs to know the truth, because the more people see what's really happening, the harder it gets for them to keep hiding it. And comment below, what would you do if you found out your car was spying on you, or that the features you paid for could disappear overnight? Is this the future you want? Or is it time to start asking harder questions? Here's the dark truth. The electric car revolution isn't just about cars, it's about control. Control over what you buy, how you drive, where you go, and who profits from it all. And the ones in charge, they're not interested in freedom. They're interested in locking you in, one subscription, one battery, one software update at a time. That just doesn't sit right with me. And it shouldn't sit right with you either. Because if we don't start paying attention, if we don't start demanding real answers, we're going to wake up one day and realize we traded our keys for a leash. And by then, it might be too late to turn back. So, if you want more dark automotive revelations like this, subscribe now. Like if you agree this is disturbing. Share this video to expose the truth. Because the only way to fight back is to shine a light on the darkness. And trust me, there's a lot more where this came from. And remember, next time you see a shiny new EV rolling down the street, ask yourself, who really owns it? Who really benefits? And what else are they hiding under the hood? Because in the world of cars, nothing is ever as simple or as innocent as it seems.